It's go find some seeds and plant something. You can plant little seeds in a little bit of soil on your kitchen counter and grow microgreens. You can grow little flowers. You don't need a lot of space. You just need a windowsill and a little dirt and a little water and a little hope and a little anticipation of the joy that will come. Welcome to the world of energy, where science meets spirit. Ancient wisdom merges with cutting-edge knowledge, and the possibilities for a healthier, happier you are endless. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Energy Works. My name is Lauren, and I'm doing a solo podcast today. And I want to talk about hope a little bit and how to cultivate that a little bit more when we might feel like we're in some challenging times. Well, we might more than feel like it. We are. We're in some challenging times. And how we show up for that and how we move forward and move through these challenging times to get to a better place, because where we are is where we are, right? There's that whole be here now thing. And here we are. And so dreaming about the future or cogitating about the past can be just really destabilizing, because here we are in the present. And so what do we do about that? And cultivating some hope and faith in the face of challenges, I think, can be really supportive. And so I want to share a little bit about how to do that. I have a really dear friend whose husband just passed away not that long ago, and he had a debilitating disease that took him down. And so it's been 2 years of her taking care of him and basically watching him die. This is the love of her life. And we've been in contact, and how is she doing? And she says every day it gets worse. Everyone, we've all been through grief, right? We know that. We can resonate with her on that. It gets often a lot worse before it gets better. And I invited her to come on our retreat. We're doing an EM yoga retreat in Costa Rica this December. Whenever you're listening to this, it's December 2025. So if you're listening to this years from now, the retreat was amazing. But right now it hasn't happened yet. And so I invited her to come on this retreat because I knew that it would really help her being in community, doing practice together, and all of the energy medicine yoga tools that we have. Know that they work for helping move through grief, because they've worked for me and worked for hundreds and thousands of other people. And she was going to come, and then she had to back out because she is choosing life, choosing joy, choosing renewal. And how is she doing that? It gives me just goosebumps to even say it. She's getting a puppy. And nothing, well, not nothing, a few things affirm your commitment to being joyful, to moving forward, to the beauty and abundance of life that is possible. Very few things speak to that more than getting a puppy, or getting a kitten, or getting a pony, adopting a creature that needs your support and that is going to give you love. And I am so thrilled for her. Many of you know my beloved creature died this year, and it has been devastating to be without him. And everyone asks, are you going to get another dog? And firstly, I can't even answer that question right now because it's so fresh. But I'll refer back to in my own family, we have many of us have had this similar kind of dog. It came into our life serendipitously, and then since then we've just continued to be, I guess, attached really to this breed. They're Tibetan Terriers, and my sister rescues Tibetan Terriers. So there's, every breed has a rescue organization, and she rescues many dogs. That's one of her things that she does. She'll go down to some other countries where there are, lots of dog strays, and she'll bring them to shelters, and she'll find homes for them. And she also had the brother of my beloved dog, and he died not that long, maybe about a year before Louis died. And she had told me at some point after that she was going to adopt some of these rescues. They had been found at this really horrible puppy mill, and they had been just really abused and abandoned. And she was going to adopt a puppy. Well, she didn't do that. She adopted 4 puppies, 3 little ones and the mother. And there were, I think there were 30 or more dogs at this puppy mill, but she took 4 of them, and she is socializing them. But my point is not how wonderful my sister is, though she is. My point is that her choosing to do that, she is choosing life, choosing to go on in the face of sadness, in the face of grief, in the face of difficulties that we all are encountering. And my dear friend who lost her husband, she's choosing life. And they actually made this choice together before he died. He made her promise that she would adopt a dog, a puppy specifically, so that she could and would choose life. And so that's really been very much in my mind of what is it that we do that we are choosing to move forward in the face of whatever challenges and difficulties we're going through, whether it's just in our own minds, where a lot of problems do start and fester, or in our families or in our communities or in our states, in our countries, if things are going just crazy, all kittywampus, all just wrong, and we feel just all of the feels. I don't want to go down the path of all the feels we're feeling, because that's not what I want to talk about. But in the face of that, in the face of the things that we are facing, how do we choose life? How do we choose joy? And so these examples of my sister and my dear friend choosing joy, choosing life, it's so inspiring. I live in the woods in bear country, and so I don't grow food here. When I lived in Vermont, I had chickens and I had bees and I had sheep at one point, and my roommate at one point had goats. There was all kinds of creatures. I had plum trees and peach trees and tons of blueberries because I was in New England, and I planted a hazelburt tree. I grew my own protein nuts. That was very cool. Apple trees. I had a maple tree that I would tap, and I made maple syrup. But now I live in bear country. I did have a bear come to my house in Vermont once, actually. And that bear, I'm not sure if it was a boy or a girl. It was a black bear, because there's no grizz down in Vermont. Maybe way up in the Northeast Kingdom, there are some grizz, or right around the border. I'm not sure about that. But the bear came in and dismantled the beehives. So she was going for the honey, not the chickens. The weasel went for the chickens. But, and bears are really mostly vegetarian. However, they love fruit and vegetables. So if you plant a big garden, you're going to have some bears come in and help you harvest. Well, I never wanted that, because I live in bear country, and until just recently, I had a small creature in my care, and I could not put him in harm's way by literally drawing creatures, big creatures, bears and mountain lions and all of that into our property. So I've never grown anything, but now I am in the process of building a little greenhouse. Now, anytime you're building anything, you're choosing life, you're choosing the future, you're choosing joy and expansion and growth. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm choosing that. And I'm building a little greenhouse so that I can grow some food. And I'm really excited about that. I haven't decided what I'm going to grow yet. I'm not a huge gardener. I have grown, like I said, in Vermont, lots of fruit and nut trees and berries and so forth. But I had a veggie garden once in Maine, and I tried to have a veggie garden once living in Montana years ago. That did not go well. But I've learned a lot since then about soil, and I'm going to be really just deliberate and focused, and also really playful and like, who knows what, right? I think I'm going to do some tomatoes. And anyway, my point being that choosing to plant things and to grow things is yet another affirmation of choosing life, planting trees. And since Louis died, I have planted so many trees and so many flowers on this property, and I had never planted a single thing before, ever, not one thing. And now I've planted lilac trees and rose bushes, and that same sister gave me 2 beautiful dogwood trees, and I'm planting mock oranges, which happen to be, their Latin name is Philadelphia Louisi, little Louis trees, which I didn't even know when I got them. And I just got a couple of mock cherry trees and some sumac trees, and I'm planting all these trees. And when I was talking to the plant nursery the other day, when I got this just most recent batch of trees, it's kind of become a little bit of an addiction, I have to say. And I'm finding out, what's my watering schedule and all of that. And they need to be caged for the first 3 years because the deer love all the new growth. Even on the roses where they won't eat when it's prickly, they'll eat the new growth at the top. And so I need to protect these little babies that I've brought onto my property, onto my land. So I'm protecting these trees, and I'm thinking, gosh, 3 years, that's a long time for them to start to grow and to take root and, to grow above where the deer can reach up and nibble the fresh growth. And so I was talking to Blaine about these trees and how excited I am, and how to me it feels like it's got that new puppy, new kitten energy of, it's very different, obviously, but it's like that affirmation. I'm choosing life. I'm choosing these trees. Now, maybe that mock cherry, that's not quite the right name of it, but I can't, I'll have to come back with you on that. They are cherries, but they're not like the sweet cherries, which we do grow in Montana. They look like big grapes, kind of purple and round, and they've got a big pit in the middle of them, like the cherry does. And the nursery owner said, that 2 little cherry trees aren't going to bring a bunch of bears, but they will bring the birds, which is always fun. And these trees are little, and they're going to take a long time to grow big. The dogwood trees are going to take a long time to grow big until those big, beautiful trees that you see on the packet or the cover or the little tag that's hanging off the tree. They don't show you the little scrawny tree that you bought. They show you the huge, magnificent, full bloom tree that it's going to become. But it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time and a lot of tending and care. And I love the parable or the saying that the best time to plant a tree, I think it's 100 years ago, or maybe it's 10 years ago. And the second best time to plant a tree is today. Because you have to just begin to do something, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. Okay, I'm not going to puff off on all these little aphorisms, but what I will say is, here's my energy practice for today. It's not the thump, it's not the cross, it's not the hold, it's not any of that thing. It's go find some seeds and plant something. You can plant little seeds in a little bit of soil on your kitchen counter and grow microgreens. You can grow little flowers. You don't need a lot of space. You just need a windowsill and a little dirt and a little water and a little hope and a little anticipation of the joy that will come. Love. Choose love. Choose love. Always, always choose love. Okay. That's my Energy Works podcast for today. I'd love to hear from you. Drop in the comments. What is it that you do to affirm your positivity, your choice to move forward with optimism into the future? What is it that you do? Did you just get a new creature lately? Did you plant something? Did you build something? Are you writing a song? Are you making a dance? What is it that you are doing to choose joy and choose love and choose life? Love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.
Alrighty, energy fans, that's a wrap on another positively charged episode of Energy Works. Lauren, this is the part where we get to use our energy puns.
It's been electrifying, hasn't it, Blaine? We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
If you're feeling amped up and you want to keep your energy flowing, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform.
And we'd love to hear from you, so please take a moment to leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates, so light up our inbox.
And spark a conversation with your friends to tell them about us. And we'll see you next time on Energy Works.